Hello and welcome to this session for the first year students of Bachelor of Science in Botany. In the first semester, we have this course BOG 101, Environmental Biotechnology. Unit title today is International and National Legislations, Policies for Pollution Management. Module name today is Ramsar Convention 1971. We will see Ramsar Convention 1971. We will have wetland services, institutional framework, three pillars of Ramsar Convention in the handbooks, and India and Ramsar. After this module, we will be introduced to Ramsar Convention. It helps us to understand the importance of wetlands. It explores the handbooks of Ramsar Convention, and it helps us to appreciate the wetlands in India too. So Ramsar Convention of 1971, basically it's an intergovernmental treaty for conservation and wise use of wetlands. Now, if it is about wetlands, before anything else, let us define wetlands. Ramsar gave us this definition in Article 1.1 and Article 2.1. It reads like this: wetlands are areas of marsh, fen, pitlet, or water, whether natural or artificial, permanent or temporary, with water that is static or flowing, fresh, brackish, or salty, including areas of marine water, the depth of which at low tide does not exceed 6 meters, and may incorporate riparian and coastal zones adjacent to the wetlands, and islands or bodies of marine water deeper than 6 meters at low tide lying within wetlands. So in this definition, we learn that these are the lands, the areas which are underwater, and the depth of this water should not be more than 6 meters. So this convention was held in Iranian city of Ramsar, and hence we call it as Ramsar Convention. It was held on 2nd February 1971, and from then onwards, the world celebrates World Wetlands Day on 2nd February every year. Initially, it was signed by 18 countries, and today we have around 172 contracting parties which accept Ramsar Convention, Intergovernmental Treaty for Conservation and Wise Use of Wetlands. So, under Ramsar, the wetlands are all lakes, all rivers, all underground aquifers, swamps and marshes, wet grasslands, peatlands, oases, estuaries, deltas and tidal flats, mangroves and other coastal areas, coral reefs, all human-made sites such as fish ponds, rice paddies, reservoirs, and salt pans. All these are Ramsar wetlands. If you have around you, do watch it, do observe. These are your wetlands. So wetlands give us hydrological services. Special services are like mitigating flood impacts whenever the floods happen. It reduces erosion of sand or soil. It helps in recharging groundwater. The wetlands improve water quality for us. Besides this, wetlands give us food, wetlands give us entertainment, wetlands are connected to our culture, trade, and we have wetland services that can give us life. So Ramsar Convention of 1971 is a convention on wetlands which provides the framework for international cooperation and national action for conservation and wise use of wetlands through local and national action and international cooperation as a contribution towards achieving sustainable development throughout the world. Sustainable development is very important, and we have so many conventions in the world today that are calling for sustainable development. So convention defines the wise use of wetlands such as the maintenance of their ecological character achieved through the implementation of ecosystem approaches within the context of sustainable development. So wise use can thus be seen as conservation and sustainable use of wetlands. So that is wise use. And all the services that the wetlands provide, and these services are for the benefit of people and nature. Remember, benefit of people as well as nature. Today, human beings have become selfish, and sometimes we think of only the benefits of the people, of humans. Nature is also to be taken care of, and that is what Ramsar Convention of Wetlands calls us to do. So Ramsar Convention is an institutional framework. It provides, or it gives us guidelines. It gives guidelines to all the contracting parties on the following topics, that is integrated river basin management, development and strengthening of policy and legislation for integrated water resources management, which is very important. Also, establishment of river basin management authorities and strengthening of institutional capacity, involvement of stakeholders, all stakeholders, community participation and public awareness regarding our wetlands, regarding our water bodies, our water resources. So this is the institutional framework. So as a framework, as a guideline, it has 3 pillars which are contained in 20 handbooks of Ramsar Convention. The 3 pillars being wise use of wetlands, Ramsar sites designation and management, and international cooperation on transboundary wetlands. So each handbook, it brings together subject by subject the resolutions and relevant guidance as adopted by the parties, which is also supplemented by additional material from conference of parties, information papers that are submitted, case studies that have been done, and other publications in order to illustrate key aspects of these guidelines given by Ramsar Convention. So under wise use of wetlands, we have 16 handbooks that can teach us and give us information and guide us for wise use of wetlands. For the second pillar, Ramsar sites designation and management, we have 3 handbooks that can teach us how to manage and how to designate a site to be a Ramsar site. And of course, one handbook is for international cooperation on transboundary wetlands, especially wetlands that are shared by different states or different countries. So under wise use of wetlands, we have wise use of wetlands. These are the red ones that you can see are all handbooks, and each handbook has a lot of information which right now in this particular module I cannot provide, but these are the handbooks that we might remember. Wise use of wetlands, national wetland policies, laws and institution, wetland SEPA, partnerships, avian influenza and wetlands. Avian influenza is about the bird influenza in the wetlands. Participatory skills, river basin management, water allocation and management, managing groundwater, coastal management, inventory, assessment and monitoring of these wetlands, impact assessment, wetland inventory, and data and information needs. These are the handbooks that give us a lot of information and guidance about wise use of wetlands. Ramsar sites designation and management. For this, we have these handbooks designating Ramsar sites, managing wetlands, and addressing change in wetland ecological character. These are handbook number 17, 18, 19. And handbook number 20, of course, is about international cooperation. So if anybody wants to join this convention, there is something called as accession. So for accession, that is to join the Ramsar Convention, the requirements are the country or the nation or the party has to fulfill at least one or more criteria that are given. Then there has to be an instrument of accession, a letter from the head of the state, The state has to designate its first Ramsar site on accession and give the name of the site and the map of the site. Then complete Ramsar site information sheet, which is called as RIS, and send this instrument and site designation to UNESCO. UNESCO is the depository for Ramsar Convention. If you can see the criteria that are given, there are 9 criteria which are into 2 groups. Group A of criteria, it speaks about sites containing representative, rare or unique wetland types. Directly they will be declared as Ramsar sites. Or Group B, the criteria is of sites of international importance for conserving biological diversity. Now this itself is further divided. The criteria which is based on species and ecological communities, that is for conservation of biological diversity. There are 3 criteria. Specific criteria based on water birds, the avians. We have 2 criteria under that, and we have another 2 criteria under specific criteria based on fish, and the last one being the criteria that is based on any other taxa or any other group. So if these criteria are fulfilled, then the state can join the Ramsar Convention and declare one or more sites. So under Ramsar Convention 1971, the world's first site to be declared or designated was in 1974, and that was Coburg Peninsula in Australia. Till today, the largest site under Ramsar Convention is Rio Negro in Brazil. And the countries that have most number of sites under Ramsar Convention are United Kingdom with 175 sites and Mexico with 142 sites. And the largest area under Ramsar Convention is Bolivia, the country Bolivia. And of course, India is not behind. The convention, the Ramsar Convention, entered into force in India on 1st February 1982. And India currently has 49 designated sites as wetlands of international importance. That is, they are called as Ramsar sites, and such a big area that you can see the number. The largest wetland under Ramsar in India is Sundarbans. Sundarbans is the mangrove wetland. It is in West Bengal. The smallest one is just 20 hectares of area in Himachal Pradesh, and it is named as Renuka wetland. And in India, the first one was in 1981. Chilka Lake in Orissa and Keoladev National Park. Both these were the first ones. And recently, in 2022, on the occasion of World's Wetlands Day, that is 2nd February, we have 2 new Ramsar sites, that is Kijadia Wildlife Sanctuary in Gujarat and Bakira Wildlife Sanctuary in Uttar Pradesh. That becomes the 49th Ramsar site in India. This is the list of wetlands under Ramsar sites in India. So total of 49. If you look at the map and the information that is provided, Uttar Pradesh has highest number of Ramsar sites, that is 10. The last one being the Bakira Bird Sanctuary, which is the 49th Ramsar site in India. And other states as well, we have so many wildlife, we have the wetlands. Goa, our state, is yet to have a Ramsar site. Let us pray and let us work for it that Goa also soon has a Ramsar site. These are references.